And I was really excited when my dad told a lot closer. And we have great fans. They're really loud, so it'll be that much louder in here.
I think our feeling is really good. They're real focused. I know we have a tough opponent, and hopefully we won't be real nervous when they take the floor and they just settle down and play basketball like they can.
The Blackhawks went through a brief 25-minute shoot-around late this afternoon to get used to the surroundings here at the Fieldhouse. Viroqua needed last-second free throws in both sectional games to get here. That experience should be a big help in handling the pressure at state.
Well, it sure gives you a feeling of, what you need to be ready for, I guess. It prepares you definitely to be in, the state tournaments. We've got a lot of heart, and we never give up. Just keep on going, I guess.
I think it's got to help us. Our kids, although it never really got to them, they stayed focused in those tight games. They were under control. They got good shots. They didn't rush anything. And even with under 10 seconds to go, they waited and got the shot they wanted, and they happened to get fouled and made the free throw. So I'm real happy about that, and I think it will help us.
Chad will shake the dust off the Fieldhouse tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, Viroqua and Northwestern. And, Chad, I know you're not a morning person. It's a little early for you, so don't forget to set your alarm for this one. In fact, the entire tournament can be seen right here on TV 19. Chad, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott, for that live report. Well, there's big tournament action starting in
Shockley Communications Corporation proudly presents the 24th Annual WIAA Girls State Basketball Championships, live from the state capital, Madison, Wisconsin. This WIAA Network Sports exclusive is brought to you statewide by Land O'Lakes, provides the feed, seed, and agronomic services you need. Land O'Lakes and its member cooperatives, keeping families farming. Milk, from the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin. Remember to grab a tall, cold glass of milk at every meal. Got milk? Marshfield Clinic, a leader in medical care, research, and education. Rural insurance companies, providing a full line of insurance products for Wisconsin's families and businesses. The Wisconsin Technical College System, where you learn the skills to compete and win in today's high-tech job market. On the web at tec.wi.us. And by Menards, helping families build America's heartland for 39 years. Save big money at Menards.
And welcome to the UW Fieldhouse in Madison, back where it all started. It's the WIAA State Girls Basketball Tournament. A scheduling conflict with the Kohl Center has moved us back here at the Fieldhouse. A terrific atmosphere as we begin this morning with the Division III semifinals. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Emmerich, joined along with Gail Champion, the head coach over at New Berlin West. Great Division III semifinal matchup for you. Viroqua taking on Northwestern. Gail, first of all, Viroqua 21-4. Pete Swanson's team, very balanced attack.
Really, they're very balanced. They are led this year by Heather Welsh, who's scoring 10.4 points per game, but really anyone can shoot it.
On the other side of the coin, Northwestern 23-2, led by head coach Ken Bartelt. He says he likes to play a tempo called controlled chaos. What is controlled chaos?
Well, we really expect to see a lot of full court pressing and trapping, and really the guards just causing a frenzy out there.
All right, well, the stage is set. Our first Division III semifinals, we can look at Jody Peterson, Northwestern's leading scorer and the leader of the chaos for the Tigers. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the tip-off. This is your WIAA network station. Scott Emmerich and Gail Champion back at the Fieldhouse for Division III semifinals. Viroqua and Northwestern. Let's meet our starting lineups. Here's Pete Christensen.
Introducing the starting lineups for today's Division III semifinal game between the Northwestern Tigers and the Viroqua Blackhawks. At a forward for Northwestern, number 21, Billy Joe Brott. And at forward for Viroqua, number 24, Heather Welch. The other forward for Northwestern, number 31, Jody Peterson. And for Viroqua, number 22, Katie Klum. At center for the Tigers, number 43, Stephanie Janigo. And for the Blackhawks, number 30, Amber Glick. At a guard for Northwestern, number 11, Adrian Jandrew. And for Viroqua, number 44, Kirsten Monroe. At guard for the Tigers, number 13, Allie Flugo. And for the Blackhawks, number 40, Alexis Endicott. Northwestern is coached by Ken Bartelt. Viroqua is coached by Peter Swanson. Game 1 officials, Perry Kuyak of Blair and Mike Liga of Pigeon Falls.
Here's another look at your WEAC starting lineups. Viroqua and Northwestern, both teams making their first trip down to the state tournament. For Northwestern, we talked about Peterson. Who else can we keep an eye on?
Well, really, Bratz is the next player that's really looking to run the show, direct the offense.
For Viroqua, coming in with a record of 21-4 out of the Cooley Conference, also making their first trip to the state. And another gal we can keep an eye on right there.
Alexis Endicott really had a very good season, really picked her scoring up late in the season.
I tell you what, both these teams, you talk about anxiety building up. Both these teams had about 4 minutes still left to warm up, and they were both at their benches waiting for the starting lineups to be announced. What's going on inside these girls right now?
Well, they've been ready to go all morning.
Oh, boy, a sleepless night, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're ready to get things going. Back here at the Field House in Madison, a special atmosphere here. It's a little different from the Kohl Center.
It is. It's a lot closer.
Janigo and Glick jumping center, and the Tigers will control. Bratz with it. Jandreau dribble drive in a crowd. Inside, and we got a foul. Our first foul of the game. We're just 13 seconds into our Division III semifinal, and we got a foul inside, and we'll have free throws being shot.
And Viroqua started out in a man-to-man defense, and right away penetration happened and a foul, and hardly any time off the clock.
Stephanie Janigo will step to the line to shoot a pair. Janigo coming in, averaging 7.8 points a game, 6.8 boards. 1 out of 2. Now we'll get our first look at what Coach Bartelt calls controlled chaos. Not quite so chaotic that time.
Right. They had time to set the press up because of the made basket, but the floor is a little wider and longer.
Welch rebound, can't get it to go. Klum inside, in and out. They had some good looks, couldn't get it to go. Here's Bratz on the run. Peterson kicks it back out to Jandreau. Eyes the three, decides no. Klugo in a crowd over Klum. No. Rebound Klum. Opening minutes of our Division III semifinal. Northwestern with a 1-0 lead. Welch wide open, and Viroqua takes their first lead of the ball game on their first points of the ball game.
That was a real nice cut from the weak side to the strong side, just snuck behind the defender and scored.
Bratz behind the back.
Right, they're now into more of a matchup zone. And really, the Tigers have so many three-point threats, they really have to respect every time they look at that basket to shoot it, they may.
Very patient is Northwestern. 2 minutes gone by here in our first Division III semifinal. Baseline drive, Klugo hits the deck hard, no call. Rebound back out to Jandro, three-pointer. Tremendous job that time by Northwestern, getting numerous chances despite their height disadvantage.
Right, the rebound just came off long and didn't think twice about taking that three.
Plum in the corner to Glick. Turnaround is down. Amber Glick, senior center.
Glick really never had time to turn around and square up to the basket, but boy, she had a nice touch.
Jandro will fire up another three. Inside Peterson. Her first points of the ball game.
Got a little full court pressure, a little trapping action. You really need to have a deep bench to be able to do that most of the game.
6-4 Northwestern, a fast-paced start here to open things up. Plum can't get the turnaround to go, and we got a foul and over the back that time on Peterson. We talked about how Northwestern likes to play the up-tempo. Viroqua doesn't mind that either, do they?
No, they don't mind doing that, but when they get some of their subs in, which they are putting in right now, they have a much taller lineup, then it may have a little bit different look, and they want to get the ball inside. Those girls are real good going to the glass.
The Blackhawks come in with 3 6-footers off the bench, and there's one of them. The shot missed that time by Jessica Andrew Klum. Back out to Welch, long two-pointer. Boy, she felt that nice stroke that time.
Beautiful.
Heather Welch ties it up. She has 4 of Viroqua's 6 points early on. Roch for three. Wow, unconscious.
They love that three-point arc. They're just going to sit out there the whole day.
Stolen away that time, but Endicott captures it, and we got a foul in the backcourt on Klugo. Northwestern not afraid to fire it up from three-point range early on.
Well, she really came off a nice screen, looked up and nailed it.
Trouble inbounding that time. Finally, Klum gets it. Breaks the pressure. Nice pass off to Jill Cade, who's checked in. Three-pointer. Endicott can't get it to go. Rebound inside by Janigo, and she traveled with it that time.
Endicott's another one. She's made 29 threes for the year, hitting 40% off the floor from three-point range, so she's definitely a threat.
2 fouls now for Janigo. Beg your pardon, 2 turnovers now for Northwestern, not 2 fouls for Janigo. Lob inside. Andrew gets free. Jessica Andrew off the bench with her first basket of the game.
They're really going to be able to do that all day because they do have a big height advantage.
Tigers by 1. Roch inside. Peterson with Klum on her. Now double team. It'll be interesting to see how the Tigers attack Viroqua. They have tremendous height on the floor right now.
And that really should give them good rebounding position. Now another long board came right back to the Tigers.
I'm going to say what, Tigers are getting all the offensive boards right now. The height has not made a difference at all. Janigo, how'd she get that one to go? In a crowd through a couple of 6-footers.
And she found a small seam and put it up on the backboard.
Almost stolen away by Klugo this time. Almost stolen away twice by Klugo. Inside Andrew. Rebound Cade. Rebound Andrew. Foul Cade.
Well, they had a lot of opportunities. They were both overlaying, probably just a little bit nervous. Eventually out of position and over the back.
Both teams really hitting the offensive glass here in the early going. Jandro back in the game now for Northwestern. She has the ball. Cade on her. Jandro, top of the key. That three-pointer was tempting. Three-pointer on the way this time. Almost went that time for Stephanie Krivenchuk. Rebound basket by Peterson.
Peterson had a real nice position inside.
And again, more offensive rebounds for the smaller Tigers. Almost a steal that time by Krivenchuk.
Well, they're really testing them. They want to find out, can they handle this pressure, especially with a taller lineup in the game, and they've done well so far.
Almost a steal by Jandro Klum, open from 18. Rebound inside. Andrew Monroe in a crowd. Rejected inside. Didn't get the number on that. Outlet to Jandro. Short on the layup, and a foul that time by Klum, and that'll send Jandro to the line. First personal on Klum, and now the Tigers can extend their 5-point lead with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. You get a look at Coach Ken Bartelt having a little powwow session there over on the bench. Substitutions now entering the game for the first time for Viroqua is Joanna Jacobson, another 6-footer. So far, though, the height has been contained very well by the Tigers. They've got a lot of offensive rebounds. Jandro misses them both.
Well, they've had the rebounds. They just haven't been able to convert a lot of them yet.
Monroe. Count it. And a foul.
Nice drive.
Kirsten Monroe.
No one picked her up, and she just beat that defender and just kept going.
Monroe coming in averaging 6.7 points a ball game. Nice dribble drive along the baseline. She can cut the Northwestern lead to 2 if she can complete the 3-point play. And she does. We have a timeout on the floor. Great game to open it up here in our Division III semifinals. 13-11 Northwestern. We're back after a word from our WIAA network sponsors. Terrific start here down at the UW Fieldhouse. Viroqua off the inbounds, taking advantage of their height, Gail.
Well, they really pitched the lob in well, and she has a nice touch around the basket. I'm sure they'd like more inbound plays to be able to set that up.
Tigers by 2, a minute 43 left here in the opening period. The 1999 WIAA tournament is brought to you by the Wisconsin Technical College System, where over 90% of the graduates find jobs right after graduation. Viroqua getting a lot of looks, not getting a lot of them to drop.
And many of those were close to the basket.
Jandro turns down the 3 for the layup. Rebound inside, another rebound almost by the Tigers. It'll be a jump ball, and the arrow points to Viroqua.
Both coaches mentioned yesterday these are 2 teams that will not give up, will hustle for every single loose ball, and that was evident of it.
You had a look at Pete Swanson, head coach of Viroqua, in his 8th season, leading the Blackhawks. Endicott breaks the pressure.
He seemed real relaxed and loose yesterday. He wasn't really picked to win that sectional, and I think he's just extremely happy to be here with his team, and I know they're going to give the best effort.
Kirsten Monroe looking really relaxed on that jumper. She has 5 now. We're back to even at 13 apiece. Boy, that 3-pointer looks tempting for Jandro, doesn't it?
Yeah, she looks every single time. She loves that spot on the floor. Set a lot of picks for Bratz up on top, and there she had one to drive to the hoop.
Great dribble penetration that time by Billy Joe Bratz, and she gets it to go.
And we've got the full court pressure. Looks like a 2-2-1. Looking to trap.
Down to 25 seconds. Endicott takes it all the way in. Rebound Bratz. He's got Bratland, who just checked in. Open, no. Bratz takes it herself. All the way up and in. No rebound inside. Count. No, that one won't go. Jandro rebounds. 2 offensive rebounds that time for the Tigers. And Bratland misses the 3. And finally a defensive rebound for the Blackhawks. Under us. And time will run out on Viroqua that time. But it's a terrific first quarter of action. Northwestern leading this one by 2. We're back with the second quarter. This is your WIAA network station. Stats here in the first quarter of action. Northwestern getting and Baroka both getting a lot of shots, Gail.
Yeah, they really have gotten their shots off, and some have been inside, outside. Some are not real in balance, but they're not afraid to shoot the ball, and that's a good sign.
You get a look at our Culver's stats. Take a look at second chance point scale. Northwestern with the height disadvantage, getting a lot of second chance opportunities.
Well, part of it's been the shot has been further away, and the shot's been coming off farther, and so they've been able to chase down some of their own rebounds.
Bob Radovich, our roving reporter, he's got a little something for us. Bob? Apologize, some technical difficulties along the sidelines, but we'll get back to game action here. Tigers with the ball to open things up. Bratz with the baseline drive. Another offensive rebound by the Tigers and a block that time. Inside by Heather Welch. It's a jump ball. It'll go over to the Blackhawks.
Tigers do a nice job of looking for the three-point shot, kind of faking the shot, and if someone comes out on them, they're not afraid to drive to the basket. They always seem to have somebody in position in case they miss that they can go back up with the rebound.
Blackhawks breaking the pressure again. Endicott for three. She's the top three-pointer on the team. She hits almost 40% from three-point range. Those are her first 3 points of the ball game.
She was happy to see that they saw her open because she wanted the ball there.
Klugo over to Bratz. Still a matchup zone?
Yes,
Gail?
it looks to me that that's what it is.
Rena Lynn checking into the game, and now Coach Ken Bartel screaming for a timeout. He's going to take a 20. He sees something that he wasn't sure about, so he's going to talk it over with his gals. Do you pick up anything?
Yeah, he sees that they don't know what to do against it.
Against the zone.
They're not moving that much, and they're swinging the ball a little bit, but they're not real sure who's supposed to take the shot, so he may be explaining what he wants a little bit more.
Another thing he may be saying is get a hand in Alexis Endicott's face, because she is a terrific three-pointer, as she showed on that last possession for Baroka. 39% from three-point range. Terrific shooter.
They were really still recovering from the press, and two girls were trapping, so she was left open, and they got to fill a little bit quicker.
There you get a look at Alexis, a state tournament qualifier in golf. Tell you what, she treats that three-point line like it's a tap-in birdie putt. 40%. It's terrific. Klugo, the lob inside. Janigo too hard. Rebound Klum.
That was really a nice pick and roll situation. She just couldn't find the backboard. Tried to put it up and see if she could draw the foul.
Welch tracks down the loose ball. Good defense out on top by Lynn. Monroe. Back to Welch in the corner. Second quarter play of Baroka looking to build on that 1-point lead. 16-15. Very entertaining game so far. There's a steal inside by Peterson. Endicott didn't get enough on that pass.
It was a little weak going from one side of the court to the other.
Just a second turnover for Baroka. They've done a good job handling the pressure by Northwestern. Now we got a foul here. Offensive foul, it appears. On the illegal pick.
They do pick and screen a lot on the top. Look for a pick and roll. Really do a nice job penetrating through seams.
14 fouls now on Northwestern. Monroe to Klum.
Tigers in a half court man-man.
Welch from 18. Janigo outduels two Blackhawks for the rebound, and here comes Bratz. Lob inside over the 6-footers. Bratz gets free somehow. That was a terrific pass that time. I don't know how it got through there, but the ball knocked out of bounds, goes back over to Baroka. Here's another look at that lob pass inside to Bratz. Klugo pulling the trigger.
Yeah, she had a nice diagonal pass. Her footwork was just a little bit out of control.
Poked away at that time by Klugo, out of bounds.
Klugo was quoted by Coach Bartelt as the defensive stopper at the guard position. She's really done a nice job.
And she's on Endicott right now, Viroqua's best outside shooter. And there they are. Good help that time by Peterson. Endicott with Pugo. Plum. No hesitation at all. Viroqua takes a 3-point lead. Plum's first points of the ball game.
Plum is their leading rebounder at only 5'7", and she's second in scoring on their team.
Really a terrific all-around player, as Coach Pete Swanson was telling us. Peterson. Rebound inside. Here comes the Blackhawks. Monroe. She's going to take it all the way up and in. And the foul. Kirsten Monroe, a chance to get her second 3-point play of the ball game. And Viroqua is starting to take charge.
Well, and here she is on the free throw line. And she's been at the free throw line over 100 times this year. Well, actually, she shot over 100 free throws. And she sees just enough of a seam to get through and get herself to the free throw line.
Substitutions now for both sides. 4:20 to go, second quarter. 20-15 Viroqua, and Monroe can build on that. Kirsten Monroe, she made the game-winning free throw in the sectional semifinals against Lancaster with under 10 seconds to go. And then the next day, as she can't get the three-pointer, Andrew with the rebound. I'll finish that story a little bit later as Viroqua resets. Blackhawks on a tremendous run. Plum can't get it to go. Rebound inside. Nice and strong that time by Jessica Leith, who's just checked in. Viroqua by 5, under 4 to play. Second quarter.
Both teams have a pretty deep bench, which I think is going to pay off. So at the end of the game, the girls have fresh legs.
Stolen by Plum. Bratz trying to catch up. Katie Plum, Viroqua's leader in steals, is showing us why right there. She now has 4 points, and Ken Bartelt wants to talk it over with his Tigers. And we'll stay right here. 22-15, a very impressive run for the Blackhawks. Gail, how have they done it?
Well, they really are going to the basket. They're just finding the seam and trying to get some shots on the drive. This was a nice steal on the press. Really, everyone's contributing on that team. Everyone's got their shot, and they're taking it.
Plum coming in, averaging about 10 points a ball game. Northwestern with 5 turnovers so far. A couple in the last few minutes. Viroqua has turned that into 6 points in their favor. And the deficit is 7 right now for Northwestern. You know, I wanted to mention Ken Bartelt and what a job he's done for the Northwestern Tigers. You're going to look at him right now. Took over a program 4 years ago that was 0-21 the year before he took over. 4 years later, they're down here at state. They're making their mark down here.
Well, that shows a lot of hard work by himself, his coaching staff, and the entire program.
Bartelt won a state title with Monticello back in 1991, so he knows a thing or two about putting together a successful program.
Boy, and we have great fan support from both sides. Northwestern had a very long drive to get here.
5.5 hours, he was telling us, Coach Bartelt, and he said they weren't taking any fan buses, but he said, don't worry, just watch our fans. They will be here in force. And in fact, I'm looking up there right now. I see a few people yawning, getting up at 3 in the morning and coming on down here for that 5.5 hour trip. You can understand why, but they're into it now. Part of the atmosphere down here at the state tournament. Rebound inside Bratz. Tough turnaround, Jay. More offensive rebounds for the Tigers. And finally, Viroqua clears with Welch.
Tigers really went up strong, had 3 good looks at the basket. Tried to draw the foul, just wasn't going to happen.
Lob inside, Andrew. Almost stolen by Peterson, and she finally gets it to go. Jessica Andrew.
Pitched the lob in very well. She kind of mishandled it, but seemed to just get enough of it to get that ball up into the basket.
Blackhawks playing with a lot of confidence right now. That jumper a little bit short by Krivenchuk.
A lot of the Tigers game is the three-point shot, and they're really getting denied that.
Endicott for three. Out of bounds. It'll go back over to the Tigers. Substitutions now for the Tigers. Klugo checking in along with Janigo and Brina Lynn.
Number 43, Stephanie Janigo. Number 51, Brina Lynn. In from Viroqua, number 10, Jill Kane.
We'll see if the Tigers can cut into this 9-point lead now with just over 2 minutes to go. Great dribble drive by Klugo. Another offensive rebound by the Tigers. And Janigo gets it to go. Stephanie Janigo.
Boy, she had a nice stutter step to get herself to the basket.
Averaging almost 8 a game. She has 5 right now.
Tigers trying to keep the pressure up.
Welch finding some space inside. Nice job that time breaking the pressure.
A little bit of a behind the back.
Great pass that time inside from Klugo to Brina Lynn, and Lynn drew the foul, so she'll go to the line. Ellie Klugo with some dribble penetration and behind the back. Very impressive.
And a nice dish off at the end.
Brina Lynn averaging 2 points a game coming off the bench. It's just 27% of her free throws, but that one, she shot that with a lot of confidence. And that one fails to draw anything. Back over to the Blackhawks, leading by 8 with 1:41 left in the second quarter.
Now the pressure continues for the Tigers.
Gail, your impressions on how Viroqua has handled Northwestern's pressure?
They've handled it quite well. They've broken through it and scored on it. It's cost them a little bit. I think it's the size of the court.
Great steal by Jandro. Picked it right out of the hands of Monroe.
They really need a good look at the basket at this point. Try to draw a little closer before the end of the half.
Down to the final minutes of our first half of action. Klugo, great dribble penetration again, and this time a reach. And that will cost the Blackhawks. Endicott is called for the foul. Her first, that's just 5 team fouls for the Blackhawks. So the Tigers will not be shooting yet.
In the game for Northwestern, number 21, Billy Jo Brown. Number 31, Jody Peterson.
Not only is this the first trip to state for the Tiger girls basketball team, first trip ever to state basketball tournament. The boys have never made it down here either. So a lot of enthusiasm up in the Northwestern School District, way up north near Duluth Superior. That's
very special for their community.
Klugo can't kick the three. Ball tipped off of Jandro. Saved. And then saved again by Jandro. Brotz for three. Plum and Andrew battle for the rebound. And Welch loses it out of bounds. It'll go back over to the Tigers. Still,
it's physical. It's physical out there.
I was just saying, I'm still very impressed in how quick Northwestern is to the ball. Peterson gets some room inside, and the foul, and she'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play.
Peterson did a nice job on the weak side sealing. Ball came right to her, and she really powered up onto the glass.
Here's another peek at it, Gil.
She stepped back, put it up strong.
Peterson, a 4-year starter for this program. Completes the three-point play. She now has 7 points.
Now full court. This is the chaos coach is talking about.
scramble on the floor, jump ball, and the arrow will point towards Northwestern, so they'll get a chance for the final shot with 18.6 left in the first half, and another chance to carve into this 5-point lead by Viroqua. 5 turnovers for the Blackhawks now. Watts, skip pass stolen away by Andrew. Up ahead to Klum with 4 seconds. Welch with 3. Time running down. She can get it off. Not quite in time. Well, we expected up-tempo. We got up-tempo here in the first half. Terrific ball game so far. Viroqua leading this one 26-21. Halftime here at the Fieldhouse in Madison. We'll be right back after a word from our WIAA network sponsors. Halftime at the Fieldhouse. Scott Emmerich along with Gail Champion, our first Division III semifinal. Viroqua leading at the half 26-21. And Gail, your impressions of how Viroqua has been able to build this lead?
Well, they've really done a nice job shooting the ball. They've gotten some good shots from the outside as well as the inside.
One of the things that's keeping Northwestern in the game, their offensive rebounding.
Well, a lot of balls came off far, and they were able to scramble them down. And later in the half, they started to go inside. And if those were missed, there was still somebody there to pick up the ball.
Well, we'll run down some highlights and stats for you a little bit later. Right now, let's send it cross-court over to Andy Kendi, who's standing by. Andy?
Thank you very much, Scott. An entertaining first half for you, and we'll have the second half coming up for you in just a bit. You know, when the brackets of the WIAA basketball tournaments are announced each year, there's always plenty of discussions on how those pairings are determined and how they pick the locations of that game. Deb Hauser of the WIAA has some insights into the tournament process. Okay. We have some technical difficulties, so instead of talking about the WIAA tournament brackets in terms of where they start, let's talk about where they're at, and that's the state tournament here in Madison. Here are your brackets in Division III. We're currently at halftime of the Viroqua Northwestern game. It's 26-21, Viroqua leading at the half. Following this game is the second semifinals, which will be Amherst taking on North Fond du Lac. Now this afternoon, 4 quarterfinals in Division I. It all starts with Fond du Lac against Franklin at 1:35, followed up by Merrill and West Dallas Hale. Okay, let's talk about the WIAA tournament brackings and how those are determined.
We determine regional groupings, and year to year teams move from division to division. So our job is to try to keep the groupings as similar from one year to another as possible. We then take a matrix that's developed 1 versus 2, 6 versus 8, however the given year is, and that rotates year to year. So it's important to keep the groups as consistent as possible so that rotation goes through and people get the bye. We determine those, and then we look at a past history of who has last hosted a home game to determine who should host the next year. So it's quite an involved history, along with keeping the regional groupings consistent. And then probably the hardest part is trying to find a site that's big enough to hold a game. We know in some areas of the state basketball is a huge draw. So to eliminate some of the emotion, we try to get sectionals and sectional semifinals, and in some areas even regional finals into a big facility right from the start, so there's not the emotion of, boy, we can't get our crowd in, our teams are doing well, why can't we see the game? That has worked quite well for us to get those into bigger gyms initially. Regional first round and second round games we try to keep in the home schools if we can, because that's why people have created some new facilities for us, spent some local tax money to get those facilities so they can host, so we feel it's important to reward them. Not to say that if there's a big, huge crowd that we wouldn't try to move the game to accommodate fans. And quite regularly in regionals, if we get a good matchup, we have to do that.
That has been the case through the years, a number of times where you have moved locations late. Has that created difficulty or complaints by people? Actually,
we get more complaints if we don't try to move, because if there's 1,000 seats at a gym, each school technically gets 50% of the seating capacity. If they can show that they've sold more tickets than that, it's acute to us, we need a bigger site. So if we can find something fairly close and that given school will host, we'll try to move it.
Leading Northwestern 26-21. Now, later this afternoon, we'll have 4 Division I quarterfinals. We'll all start it out at 1:30 with Fond du Lac against Franklin. Then Merrill will take on West Allis Hale. After a short dinner break, we'll come back at night at 6:30 with Watertown against Kettle Moraine. And finishing up tonight with Appleton North against Janesville Parker. But first up is Division III, and we're at halftime. Viroqua leading Maple Northwestern 26-21. And for our first half recap, let's kick it across the court back to Scott Emmerich and Gail Champion.